Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Guess the WN8, series where my viewers submit games and I have to guess their stats based on nothing but their gameplay. Here on Cornelia with an M18 Hellcat with a bounty aiming, Bond glamour and some optics. Okay, good setup, indicates aggression, not too much defensive gameplay in the Hellcat, which already implies someone better at the game, because it's not an easy thing to play the Hellcat aggressively and get away with it, and presumably I've been sent this game. I'm gonna assume, I'm gonna hope that it doesn't explode in like the first 10 seconds. So we'll see what we can do. Now, starting off, fighting downhill here is going to benefit us a lot. Top speed, 72 kph listed. It's actually 72.4. The Type 64 tank that I love a great deal, based on the hull of the Hellcat, and has that same top speed listed. Now, standard shells loaded, so no full premium right off the bat, getting into an early position here. I can't remember what the base view range of the Hellcat is, but certainly enough to be spotting anyone doing an early cross there, and that gentleman is volunteering for a Smeggin at this point. If you are curious, the Sixth Sense is glitched on and it will go off as soon as he is spotted, so yeah, watch for the Sixth Sense to go away and then run. Now, one of the fun things about the Hellcat is penetration. 240? Is it 240? Or 243? I've got 243 in my head. 243 millimeters of pen with APCR. That's astounding. And he has 160 with the AP though. And I mean, I say only 160. At tier 6, that's not bad pen, but for a tank destroyer, it's leaves a little to be desired. And wow, the enemy team are really overstacking this flank at this point. And it's somewhat admirable, because you feel like Valiant in the mid. Do we notice that? Might be a shot. We do. I feel like on encounter game modes, people have a tendency to understack the cap. Like, for whatever reason, people just don't play for the cap circle side. You see it all the time on Lakeville, and it's even more abhorrent there, because going to the other flank basically sticks a giant mountain in between you and the cap. Anyhow, now, you're noticing at this kind of distance, we're almost vaguely troubled by the shell travel time. It's about 800, I believe, would be 1,000 with APCR. So you could justify spamming APCR at this kind of distance against like the T50-2, just from the shell travel time perspective. Now, interesting. This game's gonna, Yeah, that was what I was gonna suggest. We gotta vamos! We gotta go! T67 in the mid could be troublesome flanking fire, but honestly, sticking about. Oh, okay, so I liked. What did I like? We own the hill at this point. I kind of liked staying down there, because look, this is mid-low tiers. People are dumb. People do dumb shit. And so what I'd be looking for is to hang about there. If the Valiant comes up, he gets annihilated by +5 from here, here, and here. Like, going here fills in a hole, and it's a rather strong position in light of the multi-levels of engagement that we have. So if they attack from high, we get 5 from here, here, and here. If they attack low, we get here, here, and here, maybe a bit more intermittently. But yeah, we'll see if this pays off. The more defensive of the options on the cards. But I mean, we are in an M18 Hellcat. We have 13 millimeters of hull armor, so you can understand wielding a defensive mindset in this particular vehicle for sure. It's just that now we potentially allow a tank like T67, tank like a well, Valiant won't do it, but the Valiant could push up into this area. T-67 could line up there and start spotting from back here. And if the enemy own the cap, which they currently do, the defensive option is weaker by magnet of... Okay, why? I mean, I did say it's mid to low tiers enemies do dumb shit. You literally own the cap circle. You own it. Just sit one tank in there and wait. Like, oh my. Why are you pushing out on a one-shot in a T-57 Heavy? It's not like you didn't know the Hellcat had presence on this flank. My. Okay, M4's up. I'd be curious, sort of, it's an in the meantime opportunity. Yeah, track shot. In the meantime, opportunity is to look for distractible cover in the mid, try and get an idea of where that T-67's heading up, because he could be trouble if he suddenly spots you. Thunderbolt killed the Stug 3G, we should look to the right and get information from that. There's not an awful lot we can get, but I mean, he's got to be back there, or maybe poking around the corner there, but he's still over there, we know that much from that kill. So, Artie. Maybe worth a blind fire, probably not. T-67's up in mid, priority. The reason I say it's not worth a blind fire is we don't have a huge amount of ammo in the Hellcat, and these kind of games, you might be needing all of those gorgeous shells. And that guy is really not a concern. I would stay in this position. Beautiful. Okay. No need... Oh, it did get lit. That is unfortunate. I wasn't sure if you would. Panzer 4H moving up. Interesting. Okay, and there comes the Artie. Ooh. Well, we know which one is the FV. That shell came in from way too high to be the Leheffer, so we know the FV's in the mid, and the Leheffer has actually... Wait. Am I wrong? Surely a Leheffer hasn't made it all the way up to A1, A2. Even in 5 minutes, that's ridiculous. I mean, credit to him if he's done that. I just thought the arc that came in from the left side was more indicative of an FV or a Burt, but maybe I'm misjudging. Now this is antsy. You've got to commit for the T-67. You can't play coy with this. You can't be poking around. You got to commit, get the kill, use what hit points you have, get the kill, then get to cover. Go. Don't waste time. Yeah. Okay. Could have gone a bit more aggressively around the corner and then ducked down. See, I don't like this. What are you expecting in the cap, right, at this point? We know that Panzer IV was present over here, because he shot us earlier. We know the Thunderbolt was up over here. We know the WN8 is still over there. Yeah, we're missing the T-50, but I think the play there would have been to keep going this way, because the closer you are to here, the more cut-off you have, or the more likely you are to cut off shots from the cap. And I do think that would have been a lot safer than staying here, but let's see. Okay, it looks like we have some kind of lead push from the enemy team. WZ moving up the middle. We might want to push forward with him and try to clear cap. Looks like we do have that level of ambition. We got 5 HE shells. Might be worth tossing one in the chamber. I cannot tell which Artie that is. You can be able to tell by the reload. It's damn close, actually. Okay, WZ with some nice fine work there. Gorgeous indeed. Okay. So, now you just hunt down the M4. Why? Because he's isolated. Oh, Lehef. No? Not stopping you right on the edge of render distance there. The M4 has passed to base. Now, there's really no need to sort of isolate yourself in the cap at this point. Okay, what's the FV up top? I might get a shot here. You gotta not sit in the cap, man. Are you going to win this game by capping? Is that a realistic expectation of this game? I would argue no. You're much better off grouping up with someone on your team, maybe giving them a push if they're slower than you. Right, going with them, getting that damage, closing out that game. Right, you'll get more XP for kills and damage than you will for capping. So that's the case 100% of the time. So generally, players who end games by capping when they don't particularly need to are generally worse players. But then again, that's what I mean, like, you put yourself in this situation almost, right? Because had you been with that WZ, M4 probably dies. If you group up with the T-34, you can take the KV-2, because he gets one shot and then he dies, right? So, I do think passivity here has put ourselves in a difficult situation now. I'd also be sitting closer to the middle of the cap at this point. Like, because the KV-2, if he's on the hill, and he probably has climbed up there, I mean, the classic blind fire on the hill is straight behind here. And, well, to be fair to this guy, actually, he's not sitting directly next to the clock, so maybe he is compensating in that regard. So, ooh, KV-2, poor view, M4, 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 M4. Take it, poke for it, poke for it, poke for it. My dude, there's 1 minute 25 seconds left on the cap. He is moving. He is exposed. You take that kill. You take that poke. Every single time you take that poke. The KV-2 doesn't have a shot. He's just cut it off. You need to take this poke before he closes distance and get some dictation power. If an enemy is moving, their gun is less accurate. You are always favored poking from a stationary position against a moving tank, right? It favors you. They'll miss or they'll have to stop to aim, right? Occasionally they'll hit, but you take that gamble. It's how you push it. It's how you get good at the game. Really poor play to not secure that kill there. You always make the poke against a moving enemy vehicle. Yeah. Stay here. If he stops, he wastes time. No! Stay there. Stay there. What's he gonna do? Poke into your aim? He pokes into your aim, then what? He stops? Okay, then you fall back. Then he starts moving. Guess what you do? You poke again. You pressure him while he is in a disadvantaged state. He is trying to close distance to you. If he gets into a situation where you are here and he is there, he wins. That's his win condition. You pressure him while he is trying to obtain that. You pressure him from your strong, stagnant position while he is moving and while his gun is dispersing. You hold that pressure on him. Really poor play. Okay. When you fell, you must have seen that. Come on. T-34 should have cover. Might be worth the bait. Okay. Eyes on the map. Aim your target to the right. Aim your target to the right. Okay, so what you do... You've got to get the proxy on the KV-2. What you can do in that situation is you can aim your target fully to the right. You can wait until the KV-2 appears behind you, and then you play forward onto this guy. Right. Oh, see how much easier this would have been had we played aggressively earlier. Okay, we do get the M4. Cool. T-34 should now come forward and up. Let's see if he pokes a shot. Now, I don't know which gun the T-34 has. T-34 should be making his way towards you right now. Hopefully he will. I'm not sure why he isn't. The KV2 at this point should just YOLO it. Like, it's your best chance. Just YOLO, secure the Hellcat kill. I hope you can repair the tracks before the T-34. Looks like a 57 this. Goddamn. Nice 2 shots. Okay, and we do leave the cap for the shot. Right decision. Wow, surprised he connected that one, to be honest. T-34, KV2's put himself in a god-awful position. He's missed. T-34 should have this. Bounces. T-34 gets it. If you keep aim. What the heck was that endgame? What? Okay, really odd, because by the equipment and the beginning of the game, it indicated a rather experienced player, not just with the map, but with the vehicle. A lot of people, you know, they're taking camionets and binos on their Hellcats, and I do think seeing a Hellcat played like this a bit more aggressively is very, very good. It's also good that there was change in sort of engagement velocity. This is a player who understands the difference in, or recognizes difference in game state, because I feel like a lot of people, particularly people who start out playing heavy tanks, and I think that is something that's recommendable. I think you should start out by playing heavy tanks, but what that often teaches people is that you go at one speed for the entire game. And I don't mean in terms of like top speed, I mean in terms of the way you approach the battle. It's always pushing forward, always training hit points. And when you start to get to more versatile tanks, your mediums and your more versatile TDs, you need to adapt your playstyle to changes in game state. At the start, pushing up, getting that aggression, getting those shots out. But then when the game developed a certain way, falling back and playing at distance, or I think I would have fallen back and played low side, but it's a change in the way you approach the engagement, which is nice to see someone recognize, and it does sort of cut off that lower statistical area. Like, you don't catch someone at 49% wins sort of playing with the ebb and flow of the game as much. So my instinct is sort of 52%. Needs to work on end games though, and when to pressure tanks in disadvantaged state, because I mean, I think the best lesson you can take away is that that game was never going to be won by capping. You would have got more credits and XP, the game would have been easier if in that endgame situation, instead of capping, you linked up with your team and went with them. Like, that is almost always the better option. Like, yes, it may well be the case that if the WZ got in the cap with you, you would have won. Right? Quite possibly. But he didn't. And as soon as he doesn't, it's now your fault that you're staying in the cap and making the game more difficult. Right? So, yeah, I'll go with 52. Let me note down my exact number. Okay, so my estimate, 51.98 and 1,910 WN8. It might be higher. It might be like 53, but I'm going to stick with my estimate. Ooh, wow, okay. Interesting. Wow, a lot worse than I thought. Yes, I underestimated the... does that make a lot of sense to me? I think I overestimated the value of the equipment choice. Then again, it could be just someone very experienced with that particular tank. Play a lot of Hellcat. Oh boy, they play a lot of Hellcats. Holy shite. Okay. Well, that makes me feel a little better about my judgment. It's a player who is very experienced in one particular tank, but he's not particularly good outside of that in terms of tactically, in terms of the way they might approach games in a more broader capacity. Okay, well, I owe this man some gold regardless. It has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for sending this in. If you do want to guarantee that your replay appears in an episode, look in the description for details on how to do that. Thank you so much for your time. Bye-bye.
You better never ever shoot versus the man, cause that's a jerk of his hand, hence you're a permanent ban, yep. Like in a roleplay game, you wield a dagger but get smashed from half a globe away. But don't worry, mate, he's sorry, eh? You could have known though, it's all the same story, eh? You better not berate him, he is living in the country next to the US with oil fields.